Namaskaram, Hola, Salam, Meherba. Few days back, I had been watching one Indian movie, historical movie. I was surprised to see one European there, and of course, the movie had been like 300 years around back. And then, of course, that means I started surfing a little bit, and I was surprised. That particular kingdom, that means the Maratha kingdom of that particular time, they were already in touch with the Europeans to build a very strong naval base for Indian Ocean, to make sure that means they can fight strongly against the Mughal Empire in New Delhi. And then that means when I was looking back, I was getting into the retrospective mode, how the Indian culture, Indian civilization had a very strong influence on the Southeast Asia, even to the Far East. So I started unfolding the pages, and then I learned even at that time the Indian Navy was very much strong, and that was the reason. Because of the strong Indian Navy, India had a very strong civilization and the cultural influence in that particular part of the world. Even the ocean had been named on India, Indian Ocean. This is the only ocean in the world named on a country. That speaks itself. And today's world, everybody is speaking about the shipping, about this particular naval world. Very important. So you can see throughout the civilization, the Navy had been a base. The influence of any country, the business is completely taken care by this ship world. Now, do you know, guys, I'm in the international business, and our business runs on the containers, on the ships, on the vessels. Before World War II, America used to be one of the major shipbuilding nation. And after the World War II, now if you see, the influence of US is hardly 2% in the shipbuilding exercise. 2%, less than 2%. And few days back there was an statistics, whatever the number of the ships Americans have made till now, the Chinese, one company, they are making in 1 year. See the difference. The world had completely changed. China controlled like 45 to 50% of the shipbuilding world. Japanese, South Koreans control the rest. So it clearly shows now all of a sudden why the geopolitical complex is focusing on the shipbuilding part also. Indians and the Americans both are thinking seriously on building this particular exercise. India is doing such a big business. We felt during the COVID time the shortages of the vessels, because the vessels, the shipbuildings are controlled by the Chinese or the Europeans lines or the Americans lines. So at that time that we felt that means there had been no vessel, the India was facing the shortage of the vessels. So all of a sudden the Indian government is also pushing, we should have our own shipping lines also. And for the shipping lines, we should have the shipbuilding infrastructure also. You won't believe India is building hardly 400 to 500 ships for such a big volume and such a growing country. So that's the reason nowadays India and USA, they are trying to make a collaboration how to grow the shipbuilding ecosystem among themselves. India has the advantage. India has a big nation, and this particular industry is too much labor intensive. And of course, we need too much of the engineers. India luckily have a big pool of the engineers, too much laborers, young laborers to work up, and US have the technology. So that particular collaboration can make a big opportunity for India to emerge itself as a big shipbuilding nation. For every nation, it's very important to have that particular shipbuilding infrastructure, the shipping line, because the way you can see in the last few months, especially how the geopolitics have started showing up, how the national security can influence the business, the economy, the globe order. So the shipping is also a big thirst, and that's the reason you can see why that means everybody is focusing on the oceans nowadays, whether it's a controlling of the routes, whether it's a controlling of the particular oceans. Everything is coming up all together. That is showing the geo importance. So guys, keep looking on this particular segment. It is going to give a big growth to the nations like US again and India. So if you are looking to make some investment in stocks, so keep watching to make up for the shipbuilding companies. Thank you guys.